Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Namaste Center. It's July 1st, yeah, we wish, yes, July 1st, 2012, and we are anticipating 105 degrees here in Hendersonville. And as they said, we're somewhere in between OMG and WTF today here in Hendersonville. But it's a hot, hot day, but we are being blessed with air conditioning and a wonderful speaker who's a local gift in the Western North Carolina region. She's been a spiritual presence, sharing her teachings, her wonderful music, which we'll experience later. And today we're going to talk about St. Germain and all that he represents and how we can implement his teachings into our lives. So welcome, Aurora Fox.
Thank you.
Yes, great to have you here. Well, we'll just get started. I know St. Germain, you've been with St. Germain a long time. Tell us a little bit about that and where it's led you.
Probably many lifetimes. But I met St. Germain in this lifetime when I was 15 years old. I was in Chicago and went to a temple, just happened to be walking by a temple. I was metaphysically interested at 15 and just happened to walk by a temple that was a huge temple. It was I Am Temple. And inside were all these huge pictures of the Ascended Masters, particularly St. Germain, and a picture showing your I Am presence above your head. And I met a lady who took an interest in me and mailed me a big box of all the green books by Godfrey Ray King. And that's how I met him that way, but he's been with me all through my life in many different ways. And I've had many incarnations with him before he was ascended.
So there's many of those green books, and you've read all those?
I've read, I can't say honestly every inch, but I've read at them. They're very, very good.
I read at them, I like that. I love that. So who is St. Germain and what's his message?
Well, I'll go back to the beginning of St. Germain of working with the earth. He's the leader of the new golden age coming in, and just to make it really quick, because there's so much to say about him. Back before man became embodied in this earth, in the third dimension, he and all the many different masters looked at what they could do to bring and help mankind when they got caught up in the third dimensional issues. And he looked around and prayed and meditated, and he got attracted to the quality of freedom. Freedom, St. Germain means freedom. And so there's many qualities that he works with that go with freedom, like compassion, forgiveness, mercy, joy, living from the heart. It's very heart-centered, all of this. And so he got permission from the Cosmic Board and so on to start working with the earth. And he worked with Atlantis in many incarnations. He worked with 3 civilizations that failed. He was a leader, trying to bring in the idea of freedom and so on. Then in the 1700s, he started being known and noticed and written about, because back before in Atlantis, they didn't write about him, but he was very high up in Atlantis. And so in the 1700s, he worked in Europe. And he was known as the man who never died, and very unusual, because he would keep the same body at age 40 or 50 for 100 years easily. I mean, probably 500 years. But he would never eat in front of people or drink in front of people, and he would eat oatmeal. That's all he would eat. And he would go off by himself and rejuvenate his body using alchemy. And alchemy is the big, big thing that he is well known for, in which all of us will come into in the 5th dimension. It's some of the qualities of the 5th dimension. And so he was very famous all during those years. He had idiosyncrasies. He loved jewels, and he carried a huge amount of jewels, which he precipitated himself, in other words, he came into the 3rd dimension in a casket. And he would carry them around with him and show them to people. And he was, he had his own personality quirks, and that was one of his. And he worked as a politician for Louis XV. He was very, very much close to Louis, and probably Louis knew about the metaphysical things that he represented. Anyway, he talked about, all the things that you don't need to be aging. You don't need to go into that belief system of buying into the human quality of dying and getting older. And so I've been working on rejuvenation for a long time myself, and I'm still working on it. And so Do you want me to talk about alchemy?
Well, I'd like you to talk about how can we use him in our lives?
Okay.
And what's his message for today?
All right, his message for today is to believe in yourself and to believe in your heart and to work with the magic that's available to all of us through alchemy. And to, of course, all the qualities of freedom and so on. And he teaches to clear yourself, clear, with the atomic, and you can use the atomic accelerator chair ceremony, which is wonderful, where he comes in and puts a box under your chair and has dials and jewels and crystals on it, and he turns it up to just the right amount to what you need to work on yourself. And we've been doing that at my house for 3 years. And it's very powerful. So you clear yourself of all your emotional baggage, mental, spiritual, and physical baggage as much as you possibly can to move forward with the earth into the 5th dimension and higher. And he teaches that you have to be 51% clear of your karmic issues, and you have to be using your time wisely. The energy given to you right now needs to be used for constructive purposes. At least 51% of your energy. So you take, I was thinking about that before I went to bed. I was up 12 hours, and I did this, blah, blah, blah. And did I do that? Was I constructive? At least 6 of those 12 hours, you know. And so he teaches to move forward and clearing yourself, because then the violet flame can work through you even more clearly to help yourself to raise your frequency higher and higher. And as the earth raises its frequency higher and higher towards the 5th dimension, you can be part of that. And you can fit right in and have your divine right and your divine birthright of all the qualities that you lost when you incarnated, all the various magic. We call them magic, but they're really not magic. They're what was there all along, and we just lost it. So now that we can do it, we call it magic. Mm-hmm. But
well, tell us about the violet flame.
Okay, the violet flame is a light, a brilliant light, that is a frequency that we can see with our human eyes. It's the highest frequency we can see. There are many other frequencies above that we can't see, but anyway, for the Earth's purpose, the violet flame was gifted to the Earth in the 1930s, more consciously. I'm sure it was always around, but only in the 1930s, they only let students of St. Germain work with the violet flame. Then he went to the Cosmic Board and Karmic Board Council and got permission to bring in the violet flame for everybody, to make it available to everybody, because it went so well with the students. And so it was given, it was granted. And so it is a beautiful light that has intelligence. Like if you say, and the way you work with it is to evoke it out loud, working with your I am presence, which is another name for God, which is right above your head, and bring in at least one or more of the ascended masters. So you might say, I am the violet flame, or you say, I am moving forward in high frequency. I am, through the help of St. Germain and Archangel Michael, working towards whatever your issue is. And whatever follows I am, be careful what you say, because it will come true. And especially now that the energy and the photon energy is so bright and brilliant, manifestation is right there. And so be careful what you say, because you will get it. And so the violet flame can be used it's a part of the transmutation issue or mechanics of it. And you evoke the violet flame for your personal use or for healing the earth, or both. And there's all these alchemical methods that he gives. He wrote a book called the Triangle Book, and I won't go into it because it would take way too long, but he has these methods that he teaches. For example, I'll just tell you one quickly. You have time? One called the cloud, where you picture a milky white cloud around 9 feet around you in all directions. And you picture what you want to bring into your life. And you're very specific with it. Very specific, like if it's abundance, you say, well, I want X amount of money, I want this. Whatever you need. Whatever, it's for bringing in what you need for your highest good. And so through your heart, you connect your I am presence, and you picture what you want in this milky cloud. And at first, the cloud is just 9 feet all around you. And then you release it, you picture it, you release it, and you don't talk about it to anybody else. And you turn it over to your divine mind and to the elementals that bring into the earth the various things you ask for. And the elementals work on all different levels. And so that is just, and you release it and you let go, and there's a little more to it. I can't begin to go into it all now, but it's wonderful and it's very, very effective.
Wonderful. Well, there's so many things that we could discuss, and the I Am teachings, I'm relatively familiar. Ellen, of course, has the entire, I know you're very familiar, Sandy, and the teachings are wonderful. The I Am discourses, I love decrees, thank you. That was exactly, mind reader. The decrees, and I like that, decree instead of an affirmation. Do you have a decree that you could share with us?
I do, but I'll just make up one.
Yeah.
Like you might, it's whatever you're working on. Like, I am the divine fire of honesty, or I am the divine light of whatever you want to bring into your life, of forgiveness. I am whatever. It's just whatever there's some wonderful ones written, and I even brought some copies of some if you would like some afterwards, just on a sheet of paper.
But there are actually small books, little green books with the decrees in them. And you know, the I am is really so powerful. So pay attention to what you are I aming for yourself. And as I read in Wayne Dyer's book, can you imagine God saying, I am tired, I am poor? No, and since we're all aspects of that, affirm that which is empowering us, because that's what we're here to do, to wake it up.
Yes.
So, fifth dimension, what does that look like? And we'll close with that.
The fifth dimension? Well, it's all the qualities that we think we've lost, but we really haven't. It's moving into fifth dimension. It's unlimited moving forward. It is like the most beautiful heaven you can imagine. Nature will be pristine and clear and clean. All the mechanical inventions will be changed to things you can do mostly with your mind. And in fact, he talks about the violet flame running cars and running mechanical things that are metal. There's just so many things about fifth dimension.
And are we going to experience?
Unlimited.
Are we going to experience that in this lifetime?
Well, some people are already experiencing it, and they're going back and forth. Like, sometimes you might be in the fifth dimension, sometimes you go back and bring your energy and your interest back to the third. It's whatever you're working on, but all of us want to move forward in our divine right to be absolutely Christ-like, and we are an agent of God, and I like to say we are God, because we are the co-creator with God, and we transmute and we move forward anything that keeps us from being one with God, and using our divine plan and creativity.
That's great. Well, that's a good segue. So speaking of creativity, one of your blessings is being inspired to play this music, which you say you have no idea what's coming through until it happens.
That's true.
So would you mind to share a couple of minutes and we'll film this, and then we will close and we will experience this.
Thank you.
so much. That was amazing. And thank you for sharing your wonderful energy and message with us today. And thank you all for tuning in.